Just reading our computer for me. We're ready now, excuse me, for the Hollywoodbets Durban July. This preview is going to take place with Darryl, Maree and Gabriel Soma, head of racing from 4 Racing, and we thank him very much for taking out some time and applying his mind to the card. Darryl's also had a very close look at it. I just want to remind you, race 1, there's start to the first jackpot. I say the pool gets about 750. Race 2 is the Bipot, pool about 750. Race 3 is the PA, pool about 2.5 million. Race 4, pick 6, 20 million rand pool anticipated. Race 5, jackpot 2, a 2 million rand pool. Then you've got to go into the quartet in the July itself, race 7, where they're expecting something like 15 million. They've updated now. They've upped the number that they've predicted in the last race, or in the 9th race, I beg your pardon, is the start of the last jackpot. And they're expecting a big pool there as well. Darryl, Maree, let's start with you. First race, can we get money with Cotson's horse?
Oh, you're not going to get money. She's far too short in the market.
Okay.
Firstly, I want to say thank you to Gabriel Soma for joining us.
Yes, very nice.
Because whenever he's on, I tend to raise my game.
Okay.
And I find them. So thank you, Gaby. I'm sure I'm going to have a great day, Clyde.
So lock and key, what do we do with lock and key?
Far too short. I mean, the price is crazy. That's obviously the Richard Free factor. And, Richard's ridden quite a few of these horses in the past. He obviously had choice of rides and he opted to go for her. But I'll give her a chance, just too short in the market. She no support for her in debut. Scottsville 1200 on a soft track. Now it's the poly track 1400. Let's see how she goes. What I do want to say is Tamil Tigress is better than her recent form. She's a huge roughie. If you're playing trifectas and quartets, include her. Nettleton tries the extra. A lot of stamina on her dam side. Let's see how she goes. Rani of Jansi's got a chance. But for me, the value in the race, number 8, Vian's Queen. I thought around about 16 to 1, she represents the value. 2 decent runs since returning from a layoff. She's got some substance about her, this filly. And I think she's going about it the right way. So for me, the 8, the value in the race.
Okay, well, it's 16 to 1, Vian's Queen, taking on Lock and Key. Gabriel, what do you make of the first?
Firstly, thanks for having me on the show, Clyde. I really do appreciate it. And it's always a pleasure working alongside yourself and Darryl. Thanks, and a big day. So hopefully we can make some money. But Lock and Key, I think, is going to be very hard to beat. I read it a little bit differently to Darryl. I think her first start was a superb win. This filly was nominated for the grade 2 on the day, but drew badly. And I just believe that she's going to be better than a 76 rating, which is what she's currently rated, her net rating. So to start the day off, I think she'll be a very difficult horse to beat. Darryl did allude to the fact that Richard had a choice of a number of rides here, but it's not that he could have ridden a number of horses. It's horses with chances that he could have ridden, and he's made the decision to go with her. So to get the day off to a flying start, I think we can have a dip on Lock and Key.
Okay, let's see if that's going to be the case. There's a look at Darryl Maree's jackpot. The first jackpot of the day, 750,000. So now it's the start of the Bipot. You want to catch the Bipot on July Day. Try and figure it out. I know Gabriel Soma has worked one out for us, and we'll get to see it just now. Betway early betting, number 7, the Grey King, 3 to 1. The second choice in the market, Prince of Green, priced up at 13 to 2. And so is the 3-horse Good Traveller, 10 Wise Act, who's going to take its chances again, 7 to 1. Gab, what do you make? First leg of the Bipot, what do you think we need to do?
Clyde, first leg of the Bipot, I thought two horses will get you through. Number 1, Prince of Green, and number 7, the Grey King. The horse I make the horse to beat is the Grey King. Last time everything went wrong, the saddle slipped. He's one of the horses that caused that race to be a little bit of a funny run race. But if you have a look at his form, 1.5 lengths Flagman, 1 1/4 lengths Green with Envy earlier on. These are horses that is the favourite for the July and one of the very fancied runners in Flagman. If he produces that type of form, he'll be a very, very hard horse to beat on the day. I like Prince of Green off draw 1 as the danger. He's also got some nice form to his name, and I think he's the type of horse that will suit the poly. So I'll make it 7 from 1. And if you're looking for another horse to include, then I think number 3, Good Traveller. He's 1 from 1 on the poly. He won 1,000 meters as a young horse on the poly. He hasn't been back on the track, barring his next start, which was a couple of days ago, and he finished a short head second. So off a good draw, he could be your other horse.
Yeah, interesting observation. So the Grey King's been in very good company, huh?
Yeah, Clyde, I've got my doubts about the Grey King. I know Gabby's keen on him, but I
Why?
don't think he's a 1400-meter horse.
Oh,
You know, yes, he is, I think, 2 from 2 over the 1400, but that was against much weaker. He's now gone up in the ratings. I think he's a 1800-meter sort. Let's see how he goes. I don't think he'll disgrace himself. I just think he's got his work cut out. I like Good Traveller over here, like Gabby touched on. He got touched off last time out behind Don Carrari. Another stride, he's actually 2 from 2 on the polytrack. And the race that Gabby mentioned, where he won on the polytrack, he gave Isi Vungu 5.5 kilograms that day. So I think he's the right horse. I also like Prince of Green, Clyde. Nice comeback effort, very encouraging. You know, winners from there include 2 Miles West and Command Patrol from his later start. But I made this a little bit more tricky. I think Q Wing could get involved. Diani could feature. But I'm leaning towards Good Traveller as a likely winner.
You made it an open race. Okay, so we've got Darryl's bipod first, and then Gabriel will come up now. Let's have a look. Let's take Darryl's bipod down quickly. 1, 2, 3, 6. By 4, 5, 6, 8, 14. By 4, 6, and 8. By banker 7. By 2, 5, 11, and 14. And the last leg, 4, 5, 10, and 11. It's a 960 perm. Here's Gabriel Soma's bipod for 36 rand. He's gone 1 and 7. By 4 and 8. By 4, 14, and 16. Banker 7. By 2, 10, and 11. By banker 5. So here's a grade 3, the SplashOut event over 2,200 meters. Betway gone 6 to 1 the field, all of them. Very hard race in terms of the market anyway. 4 Ponte Pietra topped the board 6 to 1. 6 to 1 about that horse Mucha Dinero, number 5. The reserve runner in the Durban July Clue, number 14. You can get 10 to 1. 10 to 1 about 3 Cape Eagle. So not an easy race. Start of the PAs. Let's see what Darryl likes.
Clyde, the pace should be on with the Futurist. So, you know what? A horse like Leclerc has over-raced recently, but he's got so much stamina on his damn side that I have no doubt that he's looking for this sort of distance. The question mark remains whether he settles in running. If he does, I think a race like this could suit him. You know, he's a high-class individual, and it's a pity he doesn't line up in the big one, but don't be surprised to see him fight out a finish. Clyde, there's 2 horses that are unexposed over this distance, namely number 6, Master Fuego, and number 8, Pomodora's Jet. Now, Pomodora's Jet 2 years ago, returning from a layoff over 1800 at Kenilworth, ran an absolute cracker. And I think he's actually going to appreciate this step up in distance. So, you know, he ran behind horses that are contesting the Durban July, namely Meridius and Son of Raj. So that was a cracking effort last time out. Really keen to see how he goes over the extra. And Master Fuego, I think he's dying for the step up in trip. So I'm going to be probably leaning towards the lightweights over here, numbers 6 and 8. Respect for Tlahluwe and a few others.
Okay, 6 and 8 for your side. Gabriel, it's great to have a guy like Danny Muscat in the country riding, eh?
Yeah, absolutely fantastic, Clyde. To get any of the international jockeys, especially jocks from the UK, is lovely. I mean, that is where the hub of horse racing is, especially when it comes to turf racing. So it's lovely to see him here, and the more the merrier at the end of the day.
What do you like here, Gabs?
No, so for race 3, Clyde, I've made it a 2-horse race. My value bet on the day comes up, one of my value bets on the day comes up in the form of number 8, Pomodora's Jet. I've gone 2 horses in bipods and PAs 4 and 8, which is Pomodora's Jet and Ponte Pietra. Clyde, I'd like the viewers to go and have a look at both of these horses' last run. And what's become a common occurrence in South Africa with our jockeys today is that they try and get off the rail as quickly as possible. And what's sad is both horses, in my opinion, should have won their last start. Pomodora's Jet probably easier than Ponte Pietra, but both should have won, and both horses finished unplaced because the jocks chose to come off the rail, and both horses never had an opportunity the whole way down the straight to find a run. So I've gone the 2 horses because they are horses that should have been given a rating increase. They're coming in here well weighted, and I think if Pomodora's Jet does see out the trip, he'll be a very difficult horse to beat.
Very interesting analysis over there, as you heard from Gabriel. We just saw Gabriel's place accumulator. Here's Darryl Maree's PA, 432 rand cost on the day. Big pools, You heard from Gabriel that Pomodoro is jet. Darryl touched on it as well. Interesting race. Okay, race number 4. It's pick 6 time now. They're expecting a 20 million rand pool. I'm going to go to Gabriel Soma first, just talk to him about it so we can get this pick 6 up and running. And Betway have got the gold bars market up. They bet 33 to 10 about Razor Hallelujah. Second choice is the 16 down to business at 5 to 1. 15 breeze overs 11 to 2. And I also give a bit of a chance to number 6 one way traffic, who's at 7 to 1. I guess it doesn't really end there, but Gabriel, would you give a horse like one way traffic a winning chance?
Yes, definitely has a winning chance. But before I even touch on that, Clyde, I just want to say how fantastic is it to be racing for a pool of 20 million for the pick 6, and how great would it be for punters if we are able to race for these type of pools on a weekly or monthly basis. So it's something that we definitely need to try and encourage and look at. But truly fantastic. And one-way traffic does have a chance, Clyde. I made him my 4th choice in the race. He's now having his 4th run in Durban, so he'll be a lot fitter and sharper for the run. I like a horse here called None Other, Clyde, at 20 to 1. She is also having her 4th run after arrest, so she's now going to be cherry ripe for the distance. As a 3-year-old, she won the Oaks. I believe she's looking for this trip. She was interfered with last time with the horse that broke down in the race, but she finished the race off really nicely. And because of the conditions of the race and her being a filly, she's the best weighted horse in the race. So I think 20 to 1 is an absolutely massive price and a horse that needs to be included into all bets. I also like Indian Ocean, the way she finished the race off last time in the Jubilee over a distance too short for her. She did travel from Durban to Joburg and now back to Durban, which is a slight concern. But she gets a tongue tie on and over 3,000 meters, also probably looking for the distance. And Down to Business is my 3rd choice in the race. Won a very, very good race last time, came from a long way off them. If Tristan can get this horse to settle and he can finish the race off the way he did, he's definitely a runner. So I've gone those 3 horses in Bipot and PAs, None Other, Indian Ocean and Down to Business.
Thank you so much for that. And you've also worked out the pick 6 for us, which we'll look at in a moment. Darryl, 20, as you heard Gabriel say, 20 million rand pool. But you've got to play with a tote so we can get to the 20 million. Don't forget that, guys. You know, you play through Betway, you play on the tote, it goes up to, you might get 22 million, who knows. Play with a tote to get the pool up. Have you got your pick 6 worked out?
I haven't worked one out, but None Other certainly goes into the equation over here, Clyde. Have a look at the best weighted column. She's £5 best in. And Gabriel touched on something that's very, very important. On paper, her last start doesn't look good whatsoever. But if you watch the replay, the horse that broke down in front of her cost at least 4 lengths, Clyde. So it was a cracking effort. I think she's had a great prep leading into the gold vase, and I think she'll run a cracker. She's way, way overpriced. I do like the look of one-way traffic. He's 2nd best in over here. Danielle Muscat has ridden this horse in the past in the New Turf Western Cape Stayers. Beaten 1 3/4 lengths behind Master Redute. Clyde, we all know this horse is capable. 2 years ago, in the 2200, Grant van Niekerk was easing him up 200 meters from home. If he settles, he's got the ability, but he's not one to rely on. Yeah. So I like the look of numbers 4, 6, and 8 over here, but it certainly doesn't stop there.
Interesting. Okay, thanks for that, Darryl. That's the latest from him. There's Gabriel Soma's pick 6, 2720 perm. Remember, on a day like this, you take a percentage to try and get some of that big pool money. And very interestingly enough, he does banker number 3, double grand slam later today. Now, Darryl's also worked a pick 6 out in terms of what he likes, and we'll have a look at, oh no, you haven't. Oh, you haven't. Sorry, Darryl, I thought you did. But we've got Gabriel's, but I know Darryl will be taking one anyway. All right, time now for the Group 2 Golden Slipper over 1,400 meters. Start of the next jackpot. Hope you guys have worked it out. And Dean Kannemeyer bullish about Gimme's Countess. 13 to 10, who I believe was very unlucky in that last start. 1 Quid Pro Quo, 11 to 2. And number 3, Katiwe's Destiny, 10 to 1. 10 to 1 about the 11 horse Little Ballerina. So I'm starting with you, Darryl. Right, let's talk about Gimme's Countess.
Well,
I know you like her.
The most unluckiest loser in a Grade 1 of recent time ever, Clyde, that I can recall of.
Right.
I mean, she should have won that hands and heels if she just got some luck in running. I'm I'm very bullish that she's going to reverse the form with Quid Pro Quo. In saying that, Quid Pro Quo didn't get the best of passages herself. She came out very slowly. She was actually behind Gimmy's Countess on the rail. And then Samanga moved her off the rail and Craig got stuck on the rail. So, yes, Gimmy's Countess to reverse that strictly on what happened last time out. Quid Pro Quo needs to jump on terms. She's drawn 1, Clyde. If she comes out slowly again, she could get swallowed up and covered on that rail. So that will be a negative for her. She holds Whistle the Tune quite comfortably. So everything is pointing towards Gimmy's Countess as the likely winner. This filly over here, Clyde, VJ's Angel, is very, very talented. You know, in her penultimate start, she beat Frozen Fantasy by 5 odd lengths. And Frozen Fantasy got beat 5 lengths in the Alan Robertson.
Yes.
She's got a horrible draw to contend with. And Katiwa's Destiny, if you're playing trifectas and quartets, last time out she won a very professional race.
Yeah.
She was never in doubt. She's got pace and she's got the draw on her side. But you know what? Gimmy's Countess, she deserves to get this golden slipper under resume. So yeah, I'm all in her camp.
Keen with her. Okay, Gabriel, I mean, a couple of things. Very unlucky last time. Just nowhere to go. And no issue with the 1400, am I right?
There won't be an issue with the 1400, but it's a difficult race, Clyde. And why I say it's difficult is if you look strictly on form, there's a length between your favorite at 13 to 10 and a horse like Sorceress Supreme at 50 to 1. So that there tells me you can go wide. But as Darryl alluded to, Gimmy's Countess was really unlucky in the run. Craig had nowhere to go. He was down the inside. He chose to wait down the inside. And unfortunately, the gaps never opened till late. I was really impressed with her turn of foot when the gap did open. And she finished the race off really well. But once again, like Darryl did say about Quid Pro Quo, she had to also wait for a run. And while Samanga angled her out, there was also a phenomenal turn of foot from her. So she'll also enjoy the 1400. I think for smaller bets, you can take a chance and bank a Gimmy's Countess because she is a high-class filly based on what I saw last time. But Quid Pro Quo must go into other bets without a doubt because she is the Grade 1 winner, drawn 1. She has a lot in her favour. But if you're looking to beat them, then I would suggest you go field because there's a lot of horses in here that do have chances. And on form, and strictly on form, there's not a lot between all the horses in this race.
Yeah, well, that's very, very interesting. There's the jackpot. It's a 40 Rand jackpot from Gabriel Soma. The Durban Golden Horseshoes up next, the Group 2. And this is where number 11, Truth, Betway's market got 33 to 10. The 10 horse Great Plains, 9 to 2 second favourite. And 14 Proceed 6 to 1. I also like number 2, Cosmic Speed, priced up 9 to 1. And they're betting 10 to 1 and better about the other. Now, this horse, Truth, is a magnificent looker. If
Clyde,
you've seen him in the
what,
flesh, I saw him.
He has been nothing but spectacular to date. I mean, you can't fault him. What he's shown today, I mean, he could be anything.
Special.
He's got the pace to overcome the draw and get into a prominent position.
Yeah.
He put a horse like Don't Cry for me to bed last time out, who I rate quite highly. And he made him look very average. So yes, I'll give him a serious winning chance. But you know what? This is a very competitive race. There's some lovely horses in here, and they are improving at different knots. So let's see how they go. Cosmic Speed, last time out, cracking run, beaten beyond Proceed. That was his 3rd start, whereas Proceed, I think, it had 6 or 7 starts.
And Pistol Pete came out of there in
He
one.
didn't have the best of draws on that occasion, but he got lovely cover. So the race did pan out well for him. He now steps up to 1400. He must be a live wire over here. Great Plains, I find this interesting. I mean, Richard Free booted him home to victory in his last 2 starts. I don't know if Richard had the choice of rides, but he is riding number 14, Proceed, who has also been impressive since being given a chance and ridden patiently.
Well, I would imagine he would have had the choice, Richard.
Yeah, but Striker's also riding for Mr. Johnson on See It Again. So I don't know. But I think Richard had the choice. And a horse like Wahid, I know he's got it all to do, Clyde. But last time out, he was over racing. He was wide in running. He's a lovely sort. Believe you me, from his maiden win to his last start, he progressed substantially. If he's made further progression since then, I think he's a player. I'm really just keen to watch this race, to be quite honest.
Okay, interesting. Gabriel, so This is the kind of race where now Truth has got to put it up or stay home.
100%, Clyde. So as Darryl said, and I mean, we can see it in the form books, he's been very, very impressive to date. And the form of the races has worked out quite nicely because a horse that he beats about 11 lengths has come out to win in Durban, beating a fairly nice horse of Dean Cannemeyer. But my biggest concern with Truth is that he was nominated for the gold medallion. He was declared for it, and then he was scratched. So I'm not sure if he's had a hiccup as to why he was scratched, or maybe they chose not to go for the race down the straight because they had already put him around the bend over 14. But if you guys could try and find out, that would be incredible for the punters to know. But he's definitely a runner. Great Plains, a lovely horse, has a phenomenal turn of foot, and he's been very, very impressive in his last 3 starts. His last start, I was actually very surprised he won, and the way he won from where he was positioned. So on that, he's going to be a massive runner. But my first choice in the race is Cosmic Speed. He won really well around the bend, out of the maiden into a grade 1, drawn right on the outside when everything was happening down the inside that day. He finished the race off really well to get within 3/4 of a length of Proceed. And I just think of draw 2, he could have the run of the race, and he's the horse to beat. Proceed is the grade 1 winner, so he has to be respected. The only reason I'm making him the 4th choice for me is because of the draw. It's going to be very difficult from draw 14. He's going to have to be given a chance, and I'm just not sure he'll be able to get to them at Grable.
Thank you, Gabriel. Yeah, a lot does appear to be pointing in the favour of Cosmic Speed. There's Darryl Maree's pick 3 on your screen. So the moment you've been waiting for, the Hollywoodbets Durban July. 5 million rand is the prize money. And yeah, that's great, but there's so much more to it in terms of this prestigious, iconic event that has 50,000 people go to the races. It's just so exciting. And Betway have got Green with Envy, the early favourite, number 5, but drifted at 5-1. I can't believe it. This horse was at 5-2. It's gone 5-1 when we were doing the show. 10 Seared against 5-1. That's going to start favourite, I think. 4 Future Swing, 15-2. 11 Oriental Charm. Some are tipping that 9-1. 1 Royal Victory, 11-1. 14-1 about Flagman, and 20-1 about Winchester Mansion. You can get 20-1 and better about the others. Gabriel, why is the favourite drifting? What's going on?
Clyde, I have absolutely no idea. I think he's going to be a very, very hard horse to beat. In my opinion, he's the best horse in the race. He's had an unbelievable prep. His last win was really good. I think the biggest concern people have is the fact that he's a horse that tends to come from behind, and they're of the view that he might be left with too much to do. I don't have that view. I just last time sealed it for me in a sense that Craig sat at the back of the field, but by the 300 or 350 had already hit the front. And I think it surprised Craig as well that he turned it on so quickly. And he almost hit the front too soon and then had to fight them off. Third run after arrest, he's had an unbelievable prep. And I honestly can't see why he would be drifting, because he'll be a very hard horse to beat. I made the Danger Oriental Charm. I'm sure you people have noticed, but he's had exactly the same prep as Winchester Mansion had last time. He's definitely taken a step forward from the Cape season to the Durban season, so he's clearly strengthened up. And if he gets an easy lead in front, then off 53 kilos, he's definitely a danger. Royal Victory of the older horses is the horse I think has the best chance of winning. And the reason I say that, Clyde, he's won 2 grade 1s. He gets the lovely draw of 1. And he's had a very good prep into the race. Now, his only 2 starts over staying trip or further trip being the 2,000 meter races. He won both of them and both were grade 1s. He now tries the 2-2. So you've got to respect that. And then, of course, Flagman could be anything. His last run was a really good run. I just think of draw 17, he's going to find it a lot more difficult. So Green with Envy hard to beat for me from Oriental Charm and Royal Victory. Okay. Barbaresco, the other horse that I do have to mention is Barbaresco. He's also had a good prep into the race. Off a good draw, if they're able to get him to settle, he's a horse that can definitely run into trifectas and quartets.
Okay, thank you for that, Gabriel. So, Green with Envy, Oriental Charm for Gabriel could be a double floater for that 15 million rand quartet that we were looking forward to. I know that Dean Caname was saying that that horse Green with Envy got cut into last time. That's why it hung across the track. And there was a bit of a joint story, and they sorted it out. It had never interfered at all with his preparation for the race. But like Gabriel said, no idea. Also, no idea why this horse is drifting. I don't know.
Yeah, Clyde, I mean, how can you fault him? He's the winner of the Cape Derby, the Guineas, and the Daily News. He's a great preparation leading into this race. I would have liked him to be drawn out a little bit wider, to be quite honest, to give him that opportunity if he wants to angle off the fence coming into the straight, if he's running onto heels and he needs to get going. I think it would have been nice for Craig to have that opportunity to come out wide. But you know what? From a 5 draw, you don't really want to bustle this horse. You don't want to change tactics too much and make him be forced to put him into a position he's not happy with. So he needs luck in running, and that's going to boil down to the outcome of this race, because we know he's got the ability to do it. Oriental Charm, I love this horse's preparation. I love his progress. I love the way he's settling more in running now, Clyde. This horse used to take a hold of the bit and just race too fiercely. But from 11 draw, JP can just let him relax, come out. He's got that natural toe to get into a prominent position. I think with 53 to shoulder, and if he gets first run on a few over here, he could potentially hold on. So I'm going to make him the likely winner. And then see it again. You know, this horse, Clyde, a cracking prep run in the Gold Challenge. It was a mile. He's not a miler. This horse won the Cape Derby and he won the Daily News. We heard everything from the owner as to why he couldn't and wouldn't have won the Cape Met after the race.
Yeah.
So barring that run, I mean, you can't fault him. So I'm going Oriental Charm from See It Again, and then Respect for Richard Freeze Mount, and the favourite Green with Envy.
Okay, thanks for that, Darryl. When I saw Striker in Maritzburg, he told me See It Again improved tremendously from last year's July. Okay, so there's the Darryl Maree Bipot we worked out. There's a quartet opportunity here, guys. Let's get money. The Ridgemont Garden Province, 1.5 million, Group 1. Lovely horses lining up here. One in particular, horse called Double Grand Slam. Impressive 1400 metre winner. Betway's market 5-2 about the 3 Double Grand Slam. Second choice 6 Silver Sanctuary early in the week 4-1. Number 10 Rascova 11-2. And you can get some 9-10-1 about Red Palace, who may end up going to the front again and also got quite a bit of ability. Let me start with you, Darryl. Just get your idea where you were this favourite.
You know, let's touch on the pace, Clyde. You got the likes of Bavarian Beauty, Red Palace, Humdinger, Rascova, Mrs. Browning. I think this is going to be a really testing mile. For that reason only, I'm leaning towards Silver Sanctuary over Double Grand Slam, because Double Grand Slam, yeah, she's not from 3 over a mile, but she does get the mile, Clyde. I'm not too concerned about that.
Okay.
This is going to be a testing mile. So, you know, she's really top class. Last time out, yeah, she is 2 kgs worse off with Humdinger, and Humdinger was coming back at the end. But she's a 3-year-old, and she's obviously still improving. I really like her chances. But Silver Sanctuary, Clyde, this, excuse me, she's a daughter of by Silvano. You know, Silvanos, they just get better and stronger with racing. And the fact that the pace is going to be on over here is really going to suit her. You know, go back to her runs in the Fillies, Guineas, and the Classics. She was only beaten by Gimme Another. Last time out in the Willhavington, she over-raced for 400 meters of that race. And she still, despite that, fended them off in the latter stages. If it was an 1800, I'd obviously be leaning heavily towards her. But because of a mile, I'm not going to separate the two of them. 3 and 6 to fight it out.
So I guess the question then to ask Gabriel around this race, Gabriel, is Silver Sanctuary a better miler than Double Grand Slam?
Not in this lifetime, Clyde. I don't think so. Every now and then the bookmakers gift us early Christmas presents, and they've done it here, giving 5-2 Double Grand Slam. I honestly think this should be an odds-on shot. And the fact that we're getting 5-2 is absolutely mind-blowing, but we must accept this gift with open arms, and we must get stuck in. And we need to make this horse start odds-on favorite, because off draw 3, she's going to get the run of the race. She had one below par run, which was 2 starts ago, and you can see it's a below par run when you look at Raskova's form. She got beat 3 lengths, 5 lengths, and no one in this world can tell me that 200 meters at Gravel can turn a horse's form around 6 lengths. It's impossible. So at the end of the day, it was a below par run. She then came out and won. She gets draw 3, and I'm actually very surprised that Darryl hasn't labeled this the way I am. So, hunters, get on. Don't listen to anything else. Get stuck on at 5-2 double Grand Slam. Best bet on the day.
There we have it. You see when they lose confidence, that's what we want. Thank you, Gabriel. 5-2. We'll be taking some of it now. Double Grand Slam, going very hard against the steel, and that's the whole plan. Darryl Maree says red flag, and he's going Silver Sanctuary. Although he says not much between them. Let's see what happens. Race number 9 on the card. Welcome back to Betway's Way to the Win. Post Merchants Group 2 over 1,200 meters. Some horses here with ability. The 10, unfortunately, not running, early scratching. Time for Orchard's been taken out, so make a note of that. That's not going to be running. The race itself, I don't know, Gabriel. I mean, I thought it was very open. Betway's got them 5-1 the whole field. Cruise Control, Cafe Culture, Royal Aussie, Malech, you can name it. You get 10-1 some of that. But doesn't appear to be an easy race.
Definitely not an easy race. I think it's the most difficult race on the card. So depending on how you've structured early on, whether you've gone short with Gimmy's Countess, short in the Colts race, short with Green with Envy, bankering double Grand Slam, it allows you the opportunity to go as wide as possible here. And if you can afford the field, go the field. Narrowing it down, the 4 horses that I've gone in the PA, and that's rare for me to go 4 horses in a PA, is horses 2 Royal Aussie, 3 Malech, 6 Tail of the Comet, and 7 Winter Greeting. My first choice is Winter Greeting. She won a very nice race, over 1,000 at Gravel, 3 starts back. Her next 2 starts were down the straight. She comes in as the second best rated horse because she's a filly in the race. And I think she, at 16-1, she gives us some nice value. Number 6, Tail of the Comet, returns after a rest, but the fact that Samanga has taken the ride, and the fact that Sean's decided to put him straight into a grade 2 coming after the rest suggests that he's got to be pretty close to his peak fitness. And if he is close to that, then he's a massive runner of 54 kilos, because he could still be very well rated at only 106. Of the older horses, Royal Aussie won the Drillall. He is the class horse in the race. The 1,200 might be a little bit short for him, but I think his class could pull him through, and I'm confident he'll run into the first 3. And then Malech. His last time he ran over a 1,200 around the bend was a win, beating a horse like Main Defender. It was strong. His last run was a lovely run, drawn widest of all. He got done out the start, but he finished the race off really well, and he's definitely a runner off draw 3. So those are the 4 horses that hopefully will get you through all your bets.
Okay, thank you for that, Gabriel. And I know you've worked out a jackpot for us, which we'll look at just now. Darryl, yeah, Malech's last start did get into a bit of trouble, as Gabriel alluded to. Does that make your top 4?
Yes, it does, Clyde. My only concern is last time he didn't have that toe to go with him. And if he's going to be lacking early speed in this race from a 3 draw, he's really going to have most of the field in front of him turning for home. If that isn't the case and he gets into a prominent position, or midfield even, I like his chances. This was Tail of the Comet. I know he's been rested, and it's been quite some time since we last saw him, Clyde, but this is a top sort. I think if he's anywhere near ready, he could certainly spring a surprise in his comeback effort. But the horse I'm leaning towards is Quasi for sure. Now, Clyde, this horse's weapon is his turn of foot, and in his last 2 starts, they've tried to be a little bit handier with him. And I like the fact that he's drawn out 11, because this time out they're going to take a seat on him, and this horse turns it on extremely well, Clyde. In his penultimate start, in his comeback run, right, when he ran second behind King of the Gauls, who there's not much separating himself in Teflon Man, he is now 7 kilograms better off with King of the Gauls. And he's having his peak run. Clyde, I think is the value in the race, number 11, Quasi for sure.
Interesting. I'm sure Peter Muscat would have loved to have had Danny Muscat on the horse, but Danny's engaged with the Snaith stable on the day, as you guys know. Gabriel Soma's worked out a jackpot field, 2 and 4, and wait for the last race. We're bankering number 1, Chocolate Soldier. Handicap over the mile now. Let's get some interest in what's going on here. Betway's market number 5, Get Impressed, 6 to 1. 11, The Shepherd, 7 to 1. 10 to 1 about number 10 on the card, Former Gear, and 1 on the horizon, also 10 to 1. You get 12 to 1 and better about the others. Darryl, let me start with you. A horse like The Shepherd, it ran to Dave the King. Dave the King came out and won again. You give that a chance, The Shepherd?
Yeah.
No. It's an open race, I know, but I mean, what do you like? Okay, what do you like?
Yeah.
What's your first?
Let's touch on my second pick of here, Former Gear, number 10.
Right.
You know, he's been off the track 56 days. He does well fresh, 2 from 2 over the course in distance. Didn't stay last time out. I think he's a player over here. But I'm all in the camp, and this is my punt for the day, Clyde. The filly against Open Company. And that is number 3, That's My Baby.
Gee, you kept this very quiet.
Now, Clyde, the weights were published, and I know she only ran to a 98 in her last start, so she's only half a kilogram lighter over here. But on that occasion, she should have won. She should have won. If she goes down the inside, she wins by a length and a half, and that means she would have carried another kilo or 1.5 kilos more than what she currently does. This filly was off quite some time. In her penultimate start, it was the second run after a lengthy love. She got the better of Lady Haas. I know she's worse off at the weights, but there's so much pace in the race. You got the likes of Get Impressed, Lady Haas. She's just going to take a seat off the pace. She'll be midfield, Clyde, and she is well ahead of the handicapper. I'm going all in over here. Number 3, That's My Baby.
Gee, all in at 10 to 1. I mean, you can pay for Christmas.
Oh, lucky, Gabby wanted to get clever with 5 to 2, Clyde. We have to show him up.
But still, 10 to Gabriel. You're taking the 10 to 1. That's My Baby.
Glad I would have spent my money on the 14 to 1 in race 2 and the 20 to 1 in race 3 or 4 that I had tipped, and then the 5 to 2 afterwards.
Okay.
But jokes aside, no. So listen, I'm not going to say to Darryl I'm not going to put Darryl off his selection. She wasn't a horse that I had found. I didn't put her in my top 4, but he's given reasons as to why he makes her the horse to beat. And on what he said, then she definitely sounds like she has a chance. So I will definitely include her because of that. But I thought Get Impressed is still the horse to beat here, Clyde. His last one was a good win. I still think he's ahead of the handicapper. He over-raced in his last start, but I think there's going to be a lot more pace in this race than there was in the last start. So I think he's the horse to beat. The Shepherd, after his run off Dave the King, has to be a massive runner. I put him as the second choice in the race. A horse like Mr. Master Starter has good form, and the fact that he's now going over 1,600 now in his career, I think will suit him. When he did try the trip previously, it was a younger horse, and he might not have stayed, but just on his running style, I think it will suit him. And a nice outsider for everyone to include is number 4, Noble City. He ran 3rd last week in the KZN Breeders' Mile, finished 3 lengths of Mrs. Geriatrics, and at 20 to 1, he's definitely worth some value.
Okay, thank you so much for that. Gabriel, race number 10. We've got an each way from Darryl. We're tipping this 10 to 1 shot. Gabriel's now agreed that it's got to go into the play. That's My Baby. Okay, we've got a Pinnacle Stakes now. It's race number 11. The last double of the day. This is an opportunity for you. It's over 1,200 metres. Early market's got the 2 Shantastic top of the boards at 9 to 2. 4 Chafolia's 5 to 1. 6 to 1 about Just Be Lacquer. And you can get 8 to 1 and better about the others. I'm going to start with Gabriel Soma first. Gabby, just help us out this race. What do you like?
I think it's a simple race, Clyde. I think it's going to be very hard to beat number 4, Chapolia. She finished a length behind Shantastic, who I make the danger in the race. And she's 3 kilos better off. Besides that, her form around the bend is much better than her form up the straight. So the fact that she goes around the bend is a massive positive. So I think she, at 6 to 1 that you just mentioned, Some very nice value in the race, and if you're in trouble, have a bet, and if you're winning money, you can also have a bet at that price. So Chipolia to beat Fantastic, and the only other horse in the race, if you're looking to go a little bit wider, is Just Be Lacquer, who is a very nice 3-year-old filly and also drawn pretty nicely, so she's got a definite chance.
Okay, so the Richard Free fans will be happy with what you've just said about Chipolia. You like it?
Yeah, I can't believe her current price, Clyde.
Yeah,
She will start favourite.
we'll start favourite, eh?
Like Gabby touched on, second run after rest. In the grade one, she's now 3 kilograms better off with Shantastic.
Yeah,
In her penultimate start, her first run after a lengthy layoff, Clyde, she gave Pretty Victory 4.5 kilograms, and she was in need of that run, and she was unlucky. She's had a great prep coming into this race, and she's worthy of a bet in this lineup. I'm just going slightly differently to Gabby. He's going 4-2-5. I'm going 4-5-2.
okay.
I thought Just Be Lacquer last time out, she travelled very well. She won with a bit in hand. I've had a look at the horses drawn on her inside, the likes of numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4. They don't really have that natural gate speed. They like to be ridden with a little bit of patience. So for that reason, I think Just Be Lacquer might get first run on them, and be Sharfolia's biggest danger. So
Okay.
4-5-2 for me. At a current price, Sharfolia's worth a bet.
Well, at least you and Gabriel agree on something. Now at least we've got some consensus between the two of you. And that horse is currently 5-6-1, Shafolia. Darryl's gone with it as well, as you can see. So did Gabriel. Well, that's good. Let's Richard ride it home. Okay, for the last time now in terms of the Hollywoodbets Durban July, you're with us here on Betway's Weighted to Win. And this last event on the card is just a handicap at the 90 level. It's over 1,000 meters. Betway's got number 1, Chocolate Soldier, 22-10. 6, Kinshin Shah, 15-2. Also at that price is number 8, Amber Rock. And then you've got the 1, Black Egret, who's 10-1, 11 or 12-1, and better about the others. Gabriel, I'm coming to you first to ask you, because I know you've banked this in your jackpot, and if you're running, we need this to win.
Yeah, Clyde, I mentioned earlier that Christmas comes, the bookmakers put prices up where Christmas comes around earlier than usual. And the last time this horse Chocolate Soldier ran was one of those times. As you can see, it opened 2-1, started 8-10, and won accordingly. Clyde off draw 1 on the poly track. If this horse just jumps with no stories, I just can't see how it's going to get beat, because it's got the pace second to none. Very few horses with this horse's pace. And on that poly track, it's going to be very hard for horses to peg him back. My biggest concern is, of course, he's a 2-year-old. He raced 2 weeks ago, and now he's traveling to Durban. But we presented with those facts beforehand, and we're still going to have a go, Clyde, because like I say, if he jumps, shows the pace he usually shows, he'll be a very, very hard horse to beat. Okay. The only danger in the race, for those of you that might want to go a little bit wider, is number 12, Yamadori. Now, it might sound weird that he's drawn 12, and I'm going to say he might get the run of the race, but I think that's how the race could play out, because Chocolate Soldier's going to burn along in front, and I think he could get over quite easily from draw 12. And his last win was a very good win, so he's the danger. He's the horse you take the exactas with, play your quartets and trifectas around those two. But from a punting perspective, 22-10, I think, is a massive price, Chocolate Soldier.
Okay. Thank you, Gabriel. Thank you very much indeed. Chocolate Soldier does look very hard to beat on today. Nice to end up with a winner.
Yeah, I'm taking Gabby on here with Yamadori as his second choice. I'm going to go for number 5, B52. Now, they both contested the same race last time, Clyde.
Yes.
And
you're talking about now running second, eh?
Yes. And
we're not talking about the winner.
No, okay. Second. And he's 2 kilograms better off. He's got the draw. And listen to this, Clyde.
Yes.
Daniel's only right for his dad.
Yes.
And the blinkers go on now, Clyde. That's the key. The blinkers go on. So B52, the danger to Chocolate Soldier. But you know what? Chocolate Soldier, okay, there are a few reservations. It's a poly track, and it's under lights, Clyde. It's under lights. Barring that, if he gets a clean break and everything goes according to plan, I don't think they'll smell this horse. He'll be on his bicycle and they won't catch him. He likes to hug that inside run-in rail. That's where he'll finish the race. So I'm going 1 from 5.
Okay. So... thank you very much, Darryl. Gabriel, I just want to thank you as well. You heard Darryl, I don't know if you want to respond to that, but he's taking you on for runner-up.
Well, it's always lovely. I was wondering if we're going to have a heads up between Darryl and myself. I think I'm 10-0 up. No, 10-1 up. But, but it's okay. We got a heads up, Darryl. B52 versus Yamadori. We on. But thank you, gents, for the show. It's been absolutely lovely. And the most important thing is hopefully we've been able to guide the punters in the right direction, and they can use whatever info we've given them to use as a foundation for whatever bets they're going to put together on this brilliant day at Hollywoodbets Grable.
Thank you. That's fantastic. Thank you so much. Gabriel, Soma and Darryl, Maree. Before you want a protein ball?
Please.
Yes. They're nice.
you.
They're just made with proteins. Sorry, I can't give you one, Gab, from here, but give it back so I can have one. Meantime, we're going to talk about chocolates. Here we go. Thanks, everybody. Thanks to the team. With everyone, we've got some information talking about sweets. Here we go. Here's a quick reminder about Chocolate Soldier. Darryl also agrees. It does sound, from what I've heard here today, like Christmas has come early.